earn your business, I'm going to actually show you how to get more leads, more phone calls, so you can do this. And actually, I'll help you convert those phone calls a little bit better too. So hang out with me for the next 45 minutes or so, and I'm gonna whiz right through this and help you, if that's fair. So, okay, part two. I'd love to talk about this first because this is going to lay the foundation, the groundwork of what I'm going to talk about for the rest of the day. And I mean this in the nicest possible way. I'm going to say some things. Hopefully, I won't offend you. If I do, I apologize, and I'll give you a free press release. But back in the 60s, the government, and actually not just government, a lot of people, a lot of private industries, they like to mess with monkeys and rats and everything else. But they did this experiment. Now, this part of this is urban legend, but a lot of it's really true. About 80% of this is true. And what they did is they put 5 monkeys in a room. They had a ladder, and the top of the ladder, they hung a bunch of bananas. And so they're like, oh, cool. So these 5 monkeys were like, all right, great, I'm going to go get some bananas. And one tried to climb the ladder, and they hit him with a fire hose, just shot him with a bunch of water, knocked him off the ladder. Then they sprayed the other 4 monkeys. And then, of course, like, wow, that was crazy. And then after they gathered themselves together, another monkey got brave. He's like, I'm going to go get those bananas. Sure enough, they shot him with a fire hose. Then they shot the other 4 monkeys that didn't climb the ladder. And so they put it together pretty quickly. I think one more did try to climb the ladder, and they got shot with a fire hose. And then after that, they didn't try at all. So then the experimenters, they if you call them that, they took one of the monkeys out, replaced him with the new monkey. He's never been in the room, never got shot with a fire hose. He goes to climb the ladder. The other 4 monkeys beat the crap out of him, literally, because they knew that if he climbed the ladder, they were going to get hit by a fire hose. So they beat the crap out of him, wouldn't let him climb the ladder. He had no idea why. He didn't understand. He's like, why won't you go get those bananas? Well, so then they took another monkey out, replaced him with a new monkey. And then, of course, fast forward, they replaced all 5 monkeys. Not one of them was hit with the fire hose with water. But none of them would climb the ladder because the other monkeys would beat the crap out of them. So there's 2 morals of this story, and this is kind of relevant to you, and I mean this in the nicest possible way. When I talk to some plumbers and the way they do marketing, or if they do marketing at all, they're doing it like they did it in the 60s. They're like, when I ask them, it says, well, that's the way we've always done it. Now, a lot of them have dropped Yellow Pages, congratulations, and they take that money out. But then they don't spend the money on new marketing. They just keep the money for themselves, and they're like, okay. But, the world has changed, right? The banana experiment. We don't do business the way we used to do it. As you might have noticed, this online marketing thing is here to stay. It's not a fad. There's things going on, and you can get valuable leads and can grow your business dramatically by getting some of these new leads. So that's part of this lesson. The second part of the lesson, of course, is when things change and awry, we always think there's a glass ceiling. And that's kind of what these monkeys are doing. There's like a glass ceiling as well. So I'm going to talk about this kind of extensively later, but there's so much more you can grow your business, and it's not the same pie. So if there's so much pie to be had in your market, I promise you there's actually more pie than you think there is. We have diversified in several of our plumbing niches. Of course, a lot of them already were into the septic tank business, and septic pumping. A lot of them got in there because they're like, hey, if you can give me leads, I can grow this business, and that's our that's the job, is grow leads. So I'm going to show you how to grow your leads. Phone calls basically comes into this. All right, here we go. People do business with people. Let me stop right there. People do business with people. Period. It's not the machine. It's not computers. It's not even a robot or program. It's people. They do business with people. Now, more than that, it's people they know, they like, and they trust. So just like with our business, me doing this free webinar and giving away a free press release, it's kind of an ethical bribe, or it's definitely a bribe, I guess. But I'm trying to get you to know me. Who's this Eddie guy? Who's prosperous I am, and why would I want to listen to him? I want you to like me. That's why I give you free stuff, and I want you to trust me. I'm gonna show you some. I'll give you a bunch of our clients' names and numbers. You can call them all and trust, and see how successful we've made them. And we'll go from there. So I'm gonna try to take you through this little journey of know, like, and trust. Well, guess what? You can do the same thing in your business, right? Your job is to get more people to know you and your company. That's called your circle of influence, right? So the know part of the circle of influence. Likability is, they like you, and hey, this guy's pretty cool. This guy's pretty cool. We want to do business with them. And of course, trustworthy. I want to be able, if I'm going to make a phone call, I'm going to trust that they're going to come out and charge me, a fair price and do the job well. So know, like, and trust. So this is exactly what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to teach you how to do all 3 of these in conjunction, but also, one at a time too, and then grow. This is the way you grow your business, literally. Okay, so your job is to get more people to know, like, and trust you. That's the way it works. So we're going to skip right through some of this. We're going to talk today about these 5 areas. Now, I don't have time because we ran a little late, and I respect your time, so I really, I'm going to skip over some of this, but we're going to get into heavily with reputation marketing. That's the trust factor that we talked about. We'll talk about search engine marketing. I'm going to show you how to manipulate that. I'm going to tell you how to give Google what they want, and then of course that'll get you a lot of leads. We'll talk about social media marketing. I know it's difficult for plumbers, but there's still a valid and validity to doing that. Email database marketing, I can touch on for a second. I don't have time to get into that much, but I also want to talk about paid marketing, which is AdWords and paid Facebook for a minute. So this is what we'll talk about today and for the next 36 minutes, okay? Why internet marketing? Well, you guys know, it's exploding. It works. The cost per lead is dramatically cheaper than any other form of marketing in the history. Actually, I think urinal signs is pretty cheap, but it's just great return on investment. So this is a good study from Bright Local. How many times have you used the internet to find or search for local businesses last 12 months? You can see that a ton of people do it. It's the way it is. The millennials use it, but also the old people that use it. I mean, you got the blue hairs using it and the blue hairs using it on both ends. And that's what happened. They pull out their smartphone, they Google plumber, and I'm in Pensacola, Florida, so they will Google the word plumber, Pensacola, bam, and then they're going to pick somebody on the maps. They're going to pick one of the top 2 or 3, or the one with the best reputation. I'll talk about that. All right, this is Google. This is exactly what Google looks like right here. He's the 800-pound gorilla. What I mean by that they dominate everything. They have 2 trillion searches annually. They have 2.3 million searches per second. Can you fathom that? Just think about that. That's unbelievable. 74% of all market share of all searches go to Google. Now, just to put things in perspective, if Google's an 800-pound gorilla, Yahoo and Bing would be they're all about the same. They'd be like 11%, or 11-pound gorilla, and then Yellow Pages is like a 9-pound gorilla, Yelp like a 3.5-pound gorilla. Isn't that crazy? That's how big Google is. Now, that's just the U.S., and that's on desktop. However, if you do mobile searches, Google owns 89%, almost 1 in 9 searches. I mean, 9 out of 10 searches. That's my math. Is owned by Google on mobile, and of course, worldwide they just dominate. 130 trillion web pages spired. I cannot wrap my head around that. That's gigantic. And of course, they have a market capitalization of 570 billion. They're huge. They dominate. So you want to please Google and the Google gorilla. Now, we will talk about Yahoo, Bing, and Yellow Pages, and Yelp, and all them. Even we'll talk a little bit about Home Advisor. But and we really want to talk about Google because that's where your leads are going to come from, I promise you. All right, so I apologize. It's the part I apologize. There's no such thing as easy push button online marketing. Otherwise, if there was, everybody would be doing easy and they would be growing their business. But it's not easy. It's not just push button anyway. Actually, I think it's easy. It's just a lot of mind-numbing, stupid things you got to do. But you got to do them consistently and grow your authority and build it. And then once you do, you get these leads and it's worth it. But the good news, I guarantee your competitors are probably not doing it. More than likely, they're still doing things the old way. They're trying to get those, or not trying to get those bananas, because that's the way they've always done it. So I'm going to show you the new way of doing things. All right, I believe in 3 pillars of success, and I'm going to teach you all 3 of these today. One is mindset. And so I've already talked a little bit about mindset, the way to look at marketing different. But I'm going to teach you mindset across the board about how to get leads and what leads are worth, and the way you can actually calculate your return on investment. But mindset is critical to success in any business. And I'm going to talk about that today. But I'm also going to get you into skills. We're going to talk about 30,000 foot view, and then I'm going to get you into the trenches. I'm literally going to give you a checklist of what to do to get yourself more calls, more leads in your plumbing business. So that's part 2. And then the last one is get off your asset. This is where you take action. I'm going to try to motivate you to do that as well. I'm going to give you some homework assignments, hopefully make you promise to do it, because once you do it, I know it's like an upward spiral. You'll get excited. It'll actually get you some leads, or it'll grow your business. And then you keep doing more and more of it, and that's how you grow your business. Okay, so then people do business with people they know, like, and trust. Let's start with the trust factor first. So trust to me is critical because everything else falls apart if you don't have your trust in line first. If you got a bad reputation online or off, no matter what marketing you do, it ain't going to help you much. It'll actually speed up what's going to happen invariably, and that's probably put you out of business. So you got to get your reputation in line first. So you do that online through reviews and testimonials. Okay, it's the secrets. So the most important way you need to market your business in conjunction with everything else, of course, is reviews. Now, here's a rhetorical question: would you buy a product or a service that has bad rating reviews? Well, no. The answer is no, of course. If you go to Amazon, and first thing people do if you're buying shoes or you buy a new grill or whatever you're buying, you're going to look at some of the reviews. And a lot of people will, they'll look at a couple of good reviews, but they're going to skip down to the 1-star review and figure out why they got a 1-star review. We've been trained by eBay and Amazon and Zappos and even even the local stuff is starting to do all the reviews. We've been trained to look at these reviews. Well, it's the same way with your business. If you got a bad review, people are looking at it and they're judging you, your entire business. You could be in business for 30 years. If you get one bad review, I promise you, these people that don't know, like, and trust you yet, they haven't been around and don't know your history, they're going to judge you based off that one dumb review on there, which is probably, it's probably some dingbat customer that, a lot of times it wasn't even your customer to begin with or whatever. Anyway, you kind of get that. We'll talk about that. Okay, here's what I want you to do. This is a game changer. Nowadays, all you have to do is you literally Google any company's name. So Paul's Plumbing, Pensacola, and it's going to reveal your reputation. So you can Google just about anything and see your reputation. I can go live. Well, anyway, I just speed up. Anyway, you get that. Google your name and the city modifier. So Paul's Plumbing, Pensacola, and you're going to see. Literally going to see exactly what your reputation is, if that makes sense. Okay, do you read online reviews to determine whether your business is good or bad? Absolutely. Look at this. This is 2016. This came out at the end of the year. It's just growing. So 50 plus 41, 91% say yes regularly or yes occasionally that they look at online reviews. That's huge, 91%. And here's where they're looking. Of course, word of mouth is critical, but Facebook they're looking at dramatically. Twitter, Yelp, TripAdvisor. By the way, Twitter, I wouldn't get too caught up on plumbers. It works for a lot of niches. This is kind of generic across all niches. Twitter's not really a plumber thing, as you might have guessed. TripAdvisor, not necessarily a plumber thing. Google, definitely powerful, and then other review sites. Okay, so bad reviews show up on Google Maps, pay-per-click, organic rankings. They show up everywhere. When you Google somebody's name, they're going to show up. I think I have an example of like a tire store, just because I didn't want to insult any plumber if they happen to be on here. But so look, if you see Benoist Tires, you see the Googles here. This is in the maps. Good. You see Pep Boys down here, not so good. They're a national company, but that 2.8 star rating, that doesn't fit very well. This is water damage restoration, and I was just because we have some of these clients, and I wanted to throw it out there. I think I typed in Tampa. So you got the top guy with the 4.0. This is in the maps, and then the next guy's 4.6. You'd be amazed, even though you're ranked number one. The SEO you paid somebody all this money to get you top and ranked number one for SEO. I promise you, they're probably skipping him and going to one of these two guys because they have a better reputation. It's sad, I know, but that's what's happening because they're looking at the reputation first, then the order and ranking second. So SEO, social media, pay-per-click, local marketing, none of it works anymore if you have bad reviews or mediocre reviews. And it's a race, right? So we're competing against the person next to us, and the city of blind men, the one-eyed man is king. Meaning, if you have a little bit better reputation, they'll pick you, even though you're third. You rank the letter C, they'll still pick you. Okay, I know you get this, but I want to give you some more stats. 84% of buyers trust reviews as much as a personal recommendation. That is such a writer down. 84% trust an online review as much as your friend telling you, hey, this is great. Hey, you got to go see the Fast and Furious 8 or whatever it's called now. I went with my son last weekend, and it's actually really good. I think it grossed $532 million in that stupid movie. But it's actually a good movie. I don't want to call it stupid, but if I tell you, if you like the Fast and Furious and you're a friend of mine and you're like, hey, it's pretty cool, you need to go check it out. You trust me, right? Because I gave you your personal review. Well, they trust online reviews as much as me saying, a friend or family member saying it. 84%, dude. That's amazing to me. Staggering. This is a different study. This is the Nielsen study saying the same thing. Consumer recommendations from people I know, and then consumer opinions posted online. That's just powerful. And this is actually a different one yet. I know I'm just trying to beat you over the head with the stats that online reviews are powerful. Consumers' opinions posted online, somewhat relevant or highly relevant. What is that? 56, 80, 92%. Somewhat relevant or highly relevant. Okay, so and then when we looked at that, they need a minimum of 6 to 10 reviews. So there's your number for you. There's your first homework assignment. Write this down. I'm going to go get 6 to 10 good 5-star reviews. By May 15th, or I'll give you a month and a half. Do it by the end of May. Now, if you already have a bad review or you already have a couple of reviews, you need to get a little bit more than that. But if you have no reviews at all, you need to get 6 to 10 5-star reviews by there. Now, here's the next question. How strategy. So first off, go to right here, prosperousIam.com/free, that's an underscore, tools, and it will help you. You just put your business name in there. It'll give you your link to your review portal from Google. It skips all the steps and goes right there. So it's actually pretty cool. So go use that. That's kind of cool, and that'll help you out. And then you kind of want to see what kind of, it will help you. Mostly this will get you straight to Google, but you need to look at all these other ones as well. City Search, Google Places, Local, Superpages, Yelp, and see how your reputation is too. These are my top review sites. Of course, Facebook number 2. You probably already checked that out. You'll know that because you've had to sign up for it. Yelp, I picked number 3. City Searches, Insider Pages, Yahoo. Kind of this order I pay attention. Now, HomeAdvisor does do reviews and stuff now. I would pay attention to that. I know if you're not buying it, you still need to pay attention to your reviews on there because people are looking. Not a lot. If the 800-pound gorilla is Google, HomeAdvisor is about a 1.5-pound gorilla. And Angie's List, oh my God, don't bring up Angie's List. I hate Angie's List. They're about a 1/2 pound gorilla, but they make a lot of freaking noise. They're like one of those chimpanzees that throws poop. They've never made money in 19 years. Google Angie's List. It's a public company. First off, I'd like to start a business in 19 years and never make money and make all the money that she makes. But and she's probably a good person, but that's just a bad business plan. But I know that she's taking, all right, if you're spending money with her, I apologize, but it's just a bad business plan. And they have never made money, and I don't see them ever making money. I can't imagine them not going out of business. But she's obviously well-funded and backed. And who am I? She probably makes more money than I do. So anyway, moving on. I wouldn't focus too much on Angie's List. She's a 1/2 pound gorilla. Or chimpanzee throwing poop. If you have bad reviews, you need to respond. So you log into, you Google My Business, and then you take the high road. I had one plumber not take the high road. That's not the way. They berated them and said, "You're an idiot." Don't do that. Say, "We're truly sorry you had a bad experience. We strive hard to take care of all of our customers." In your case, if you have a specific story you can tell, if you know who it is, then it's okay to give your side of the story. Yeah, we gave you your money back. We're sorry that it was broke. We truly tried and it just didn't work out. That's why we gave you money back. And then if I was reading that from an outside third-party person, I would go, "Oh, that's respectful. I get that. That's cool that they gave the money back. At least they tried." You can't please every customer, and they get that too. So write that on. But if you don't have that, then kind of be generic. Say, "Hey, look, we strive hard and have top customer service." If you really feel like I don't think anyway, say something effective. Call me and I'll take care of the situation. Anything we can do to help you, and then take it offline. You want to take it offline, and you really want to get them to remove it. So if you know who it is and they just posted like a day ago, call them up and say, "Hey, man, what can I do to fix the situation?" And then hopefully fix the situation. And once you do that, then they'll take it down. Hopefully. Golly, my freaking thing is blowing up. And let's see if I can shut that down. Sorry. Bear with me. Everybody's asking me questions right now. Okay, sorry. Keep moving on. All right. Ask your customers for reviews, of course. So you want to dilute it. Second part, after if you get a bad review, you want to dilute it. Meaning you'll get a bunch more reviews. Here's how you do that. Here's the secret, right? Psst, inside secret. Google owns Android. You probably knew that, but they own any Android phone. So that means you are already logged into Google. And so if I'm at the golf course or I'm at a restaurant with my buddies and they're sitting there and I say, "Take out your phone." I'll say, "All right, Google My Business, Google Bob's Plumbing." And when it pulls up, there's a little blue down arrow. Just trust me, it's easy to find. Blue down arrow. Click that blue down arrow and it'll say leave a review. And that's all they have to do because they're already logged in. Now, it doesn't work the same on iPhones because it's going to say log in and then they're going to get lost and they're going to get mad because they can't log in because nobody remembers their Gmail. But if it's an Android phone, it's already logged in. It's a quick and easy way to get reviews. So go ask all your customers to leave a review. Legally, your employees have the right to leave your review. Make sure they leave you 5 stars and they don't leave you. But they can't lie. Don't lie and say if they've used you if they haven't. But they can say, I've been working for this company for 5 years. Bob is awesome. It had a lot of integrity. We truly strive hard to take care of our customers. They could say that all day long, because what I'm trying to do is get those little stars higher, right? Remember that one I showed you, he had a 4.0. Well, a couple of reviews from his employees were one from his spouse and his kids, or whatever, cousin, his friend. That would take him to like a 4.5, and then he would get a ton more calls. I promise you, it may equate to another 50 calls a month. Not joking, it could be that many, just by getting his reputation up. And I've seen it time and time again. In fact, we track it. It's very trackable. So do it. Now you look at your own terms of service on Google, but you're not supposed to leave your own review on your own business. But it doesn't say anything about your employees or your spouse in it. It says you can't lie. So don't lie. Just don't say you've used it. You get the point. And then, of course, you need to create a consistent program to acquire reviews. We strongly encourage to do a little exit interview. Like for our plumbers, we have this little software that's really cool. And it's like an exit thing. It's just their name and email, and then how did we do? And what actually it says which plumber did you work with, and then how did we do? Is there anything we can do better? And they can leave it like quickly right there on an iPad or on their phone, and it automatically sends it over and puts it into a program to leave reviews on Google and Yelp and anywhere else, Facebook, anywhere else we want to put it. Very cool. But you can do the same thing. You can just ask them for reviews. Okay, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. So let's talk about the know factor. I know we're running along here. I went long on the trust, but that's the most important part of this. Everything else falls apart. The know part of it, this is ways to get more people to know you. This is growing your circle of influence, getting people to know your brand name, your name of your company, and also you personally, because it is a personal thing. Networking, word of mouth, traditional media, online marketing, journal signs, whatever. I mean, we're going to talk about online marketing because that's what I'm an expert in. But I believe in all of it. We need to look at it and say, okay, what's best for me? And a lot of people are shifting a ton of money right now from offline to newspaper and even TV and radio. Which I was in radio for 14 years. I was a general sales manager for Clear Channel, and I do believe in traditional media. It's just changing, right? So it's hard to see and to regulate and actually monitor return on investment. Where online marketing, you can see every dollar. I can tell you exactly how much money you spent for exactly how many leads you got for how much money you closed. It's cradle to grave kind of marketing, and it's easy to say, all right, I spent $1 to make $2.12. I'll take how many dollars you're going to give me. I'll give me as many dollars you want. I have clients, bigger markets like Miami, started out $1,500 a month and $2,000, $3,000, and now he's $30-some thousand a month. He's like, he can't spend enough money because he gives me $1 and I hand him back $3. Now that's Miami, a bigger market, because he's still not saturated, but just the way once you got the numbers and the metrics down, it works. So let me talk about organic search marketing. We call it SEO or whatever. I don't like calling that. It's got a bad name. I'm sure you guys get hounded all the time, and it's embarrassing for us legitimate companies. SEO is still legitimate, yes, and Google actually encourages it to optimize, by the way. But we don't use the word SEO. We call it search engine marketing, or what did I call it here? Yeah, organic search marketing. I kind of stay with, but there's the SEO on the page there, I guess. But first off, step one, you need to make sure you're in the maps. Now, I'm assuming everybody is 100% verified. I hate to even bring this up because you should be already. You go to google.com/business. It's called Google My Business. And you should have got a phone call from an automated Google message thing or a postcard. The problem is every time I asked an audience, I was actually teaching in Vegas in February, and I have 1,000 people in the audience. And I'm like, raise your hand if you know for sure you're verified with Google. And they all said yes. And it didn't take me but 5 minutes to find several, not one, not two, but several, like 3 or 4 of them that were not verified. Because they think they are. Just because you have a listing doesn't mean you're verified. So go here and make sure you're verified, and you'll have a little check mark by your box. I don't have time to get into it right now, but just make sure you're verified. And because if you don't verify, here's some guerrilla marketing. Competitors have been taking them because then they'll go verify and they'll change the number to them, and then they steal your leads. It's pretty shady. I mean, this shouldn't happen. I mean, you could probably sue them, but it does happen. I've seen it happen more than one. I've probably seen it 3 times happen. So you got to make sure you're verified. Okay, step 1, get verified. All right, let's talk about SEO. Is it black magic, dark arts, snake oil? unethical, spammy, high risk, or is it ethical, Google approved? White hat is user focused. So today we're going to talk 94% white hat, and I'm going to give you a little gray hat. Gray meaning it's not bad, it's not against the terms of service. It's just, I literally, one of the things I'm going to show you, I asked Matt Cutts, he used to work for Google back then. He was the head of the spam, spam, the whole thing for spam filtering on Google. And I said, Matt, I asked him this very specific question, can I do this? And he looked at me, he smiled, he goes, you can do that. We don't like it, but you can do that. And I thought it was funny because that was his political answer of saying, yeah, the spam filters won't catch it. But he's like, I'm going to take note here, and it probably catches it now anyway, but kind of funny. Okay, has anybody seen one of these things? In my day, this was the way we Google, right? This is a card catalog back in the, a lot of you guys maybe on this webinar may not even know what this is, but back in the day, they had a thing called card catalog, and a card catalog is how you found a book. So if you wanted to, Huckleberry Finn, you go under H and look for the book, or you can Tom Sawyer, you look for the book, and so, or you can actually, back then you'd have another area where it was alphabetized by the name of the author or the last name of the author, and so that's the way you found what you're looking for. Well, Google works that way. So if you're looking for a plumber in Pensacola, you can go to the big file drawer that says with a P on it for a plumber, and then it's going to be huge because it's going to be every plumber in the world. And then you're going to flip through plumber, and maybe under the P section will be Pensacola, and then maybe you'll find Bob's Plumbing underneath that file, if you see what I'm saying. Well, that's not necessarily the best way to get ranked in SEO. It's not the best way to, filing. If you're going to file yourself, that's not the best place to file yourself. In my mind, I would go, and this is the best and easiest way to get ranked, by the way. I would go to the, I would actually go to the P drawer for Pensacola, and then under Pensacola, there's going to be a file folder called Plumber, and then I would find myself there. It's a much smaller drawer, right? It's on a local level. You're not trying to rank nationwide. You don't want to work, rank for a plumber in California if you're in Pensacola, right? Or Texas or wherever you're at, Tampa. You want to rank for your city, at least your surrounding area, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, cool. Here's another version. Okay, there's only 2 reasons to do anything online. Human beings, we love human beings. They're great. It's one of the reasons why we do something. Part 2, though, and this is the part I'm going to talk about, is Googlebots. So when we post things online, we do things online, we really kind of want to, we want to do it for human beings to get them to know, like, and trust us. But we want to also get the Googlebots to give us authority for it. Authority meaning boost us up, and then the more authority we have, the higher rankings you're going to have in the maps as well as the organic. That makes sense? So along with those same lines, there's only 2 ways to increase your search engine rankings. So there's only 2 things we do online, but there's 2 ways to increase your search engine rankings. One, on-site optimization, which equals relevance. So that's going to be what's on your website. So if you talk about Pensacola Plumber on your webpage, you're going to talk about all the things you do in septic tank and snaking and rootering and all the stuff that you would do, then great. That's the relevance for on-page for your website. But part 2, and actually more important, is the off-site optimization. This is where your authority comes from. Google doesn't trust you that they think you're telling them on your website that you're great. They're like, yeah, that's great that you're telling us, but we trust everybody else who's saying it. And what they mean is they want somebody outside of your website saying how great you are, meaning a blog or a press release or a video or a podcast. Or remember I told you I'll do a press release for you? Well, that is an outside link pointing back to your website. It's a great way to grow authority. It's one of my favorite ways to grow authority. So if Google sees this press release out on news, NBC 13 or something in your city, and it links back to your website, and Google goes, wow, these guys are getting mentioned here. We need to give them a little more authority for their keywords in their market. And you can do the same thing with all this other stuff. We got a bunch of secret sauce that we do, but here's some good ones you can do that. So you grow your on-site optimization by your relevance. You grow your off-site optimization by authority, outside authority, and that's how you grow your rankings. I just gave you the keys to the kingdom. That's literally how Google works. That is the algorithm. Now, there's 300 reasons. I think I'll show you here a little bit. This is some of the stuff that we do, all pointing back to your, I know it looks crazy, but everything pointing back to your money site, and we'll grow your authority. We dramatically do this. These are the reasons, and this is a one, I'm going to skip past this, but this is what we think that Google, Google doesn't tell us their cards. So this is from Search Engine Land, and this is a survey that we all filled out. This is probably everything that you need to know about how to get ranked in Google. You don't need to learn all this stuff, but just give them quality content and build those backlinks I was telling you about with quality backlinks. It can't be from crappy backlinks. It can't be from bad places. But and then of course grow your on-site authority with relevance, and you should be good to go. There's over 300 ranking factors, as I mentioned. One of them is trust and authority of the host domain. That's the outside trust factor. That's the authority I was just talking about. 22% is link popularity of the specific page. So in other words, links pointing to that page. And then 20% is the anchor text of those external links. So you see the first 66% of the reason why you rank have nothing to do with your website at all. It could be a picture of me or that gorilla, and it would, if we have enough of this other stuff going on, we could get it ranked. Now we need to have good on-page keyword usage. We need to have good on-page data and social graphs and metrics and all that stuff. But really, the majority of the reason why you rank is these off-site links pointing back to you. This is old, but this is the golden triangle. This is how we read a book. This is how we look at Google, top to bottom, right to left, right to left, and then on down. That's why you want to be in the top 3 or 4, because when you're down there, it's, crickets. When you get down to the bottom, nobody's going to page 2. They say if you want to hide a dead body, put it on page 2 of Google. Okay, maps. This is different. So maps, I showed you a little bit earlier. Maps is what's critical now. I think maps is more important than anything else, but on a cell phone, which majority of the searches now are on a phone, especially for plumbers. I think 60% of searches for plumbers, it's different for other categories, but for plumbers, is on a cell phone. So you need to make sure you're optimized for a cell phone. But the first thing they see when they Google Pensacola plumber or plumber in Pensacola is going to be the maps. Well, they'll see the ads first, but then they'll see maps. So we want to make sure we're verified. And to get to the top of the maps, we want to make sure we have all the correct categories. We want to make sure it says plumber and not like HVAC. If you do both HVAC and plumber, you need to pick one, but you need to have all both of them listed. Actually, you need to pick which one you want to dominate first, and then list it for sure. I would actually separate your. That's a whole other thing. I would actually put 2 things on there. You need to fill everything out completely on your maps. This is my Google My Business listing. I have it listed. This picture right here. When you go here, fill it out completely. When I mean fill it out completely, it's going to say, do you have a parking lot? Yes. I don't care if it's out of your house, but yes. Do you take Visa? Yes. MasterCard? Yes. Are you open holidays? No. But fill it out, because it really, Google thinks the person who fills it out more should be ranked higher on the maps. It's really kind of weird. Hours of operation, payments, photos. Now this is critical. Photos inside and out. Fill it all out. And since it's a mathematical equation, you probably didn't know this, or you probably did. Google is an algorithm, and if it's a mathematical equation, you just have to have more than they do. If they have 5 pictures on the inside of the building, put 6. If they have 6 pictures of their team, you need 8. If they have 2 videos, you need 3. So beat them on math. Look at your competitors, reverse engineer it, and say, okay, I'm going to do a little bit more than what they're doing, and that's hopefully how you're going to win. Now, you also need to get more reviews. We already talked about reviews, jump them down. We already talked about why you need to get more than your competition. I told you how to do that, but you need to do it just because it's going to help you on the maps too. It'll get you to the top. And then the last thing you need for maps is citations. Citations are simply another website citing, that's C-I-T-I-N-G, your name, address, and phone number. Hopefully your website too. Doesn't have to be, but it could be like Super Pages, Local Pages, Info USA. These are some of the ones that I like. There's some deeper ones that you probably never heard of. Discover Our Town, W Cities, those kind of things that you could sign up for and get a citation on. Now, Moz will give you kind of a snapshot of yours. It's okay to go there. Don't pay for it. I mean, they're really cool guys. I actually like them, but they're gonna offer you to do it for you. You don't need to do that. And same thing with Yext. Don't be doing that. It's a one-time thing. You go make it once. You don't need to. Hopefully, it won't. If you move, you need to do it again. But I wouldn't worry about it. It's not going to change. They say it may, but I would not pay monthly for it. I'd pay a one-time thing, get it done, and make sure they're right, and then get all your citations that you can. So I would look at Moz just to get a reference of where yours is at, and then you can go manually do it. And don't, they'll give you a list of what you need to do. All right, so if you're not on top of Google Places in the organic rankings, then you're basically a billboard in the desert, right? It looks good, but nobody's there. You have, it's crickets, no traffic, not even crickets, I guess it's, scorpions out in the desert, and they don't see it. So you need to get top of the rank. rankings. You need to get top of the maps, and I just taught you how to do most of that. Okay, I got to move on because we're running out of time here. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. Let's talk about the like factor here. One of the ways to get people to like you is your social media. What if anybody, is anybody out here know what this little yellow one is here? That's Snapchat. It's coming on the scene pretty hard, but it's good for like 14 to 22-year-olds. Actually, it's getting older, I see it as like Snapchat to me is Twitter with video, because it's a conversation mic. And it goes away, and kind of like Twitter did, and Twitter's like a quick conversation. It's not made to have these big lasting things that, and it's actually working pretty well. So it's going to come on the scene. We'll see. I think Instagram and Facebook are they copied a lot of the stuff with the storylines and everything. They're trying to put Snapchat out of business. We'll see. I mean, Facebook has a lot more money, which owns Instagram. So I don't know, a little sidetrack there. Anyway, for a plumber, you don't need to be doing all those. You don't need to be doing all, but somebody needs to be doing something, right? Because Facebook and Instagram and all these places are a great way to get people to like you more. And that's the whole point of social media. It's not to sell, but it's that you can post how-tos, how to unclog a sink, how to unclog a toilet, how to maintenance that you should do. Here's a secret: put an orange down the sink or something like that, and it makes it smell better during your garbage disposal. All those things that you guys know about, but those are the things I would be posting. Funny things. I do like humor. You got to be careful of plumber humor, but it works. And I have this on the screen here because social media isn't a fad. It's a fundamental shift in the way we communicate. It really is the way we tell people and who we like and trust, and it's just a great way to get your name out there. I don't have time to get into all that, but social media is 100% higher lead to close ratio in outbound marketing. It's just powerful. Business to consumer or business to business, which if you're a commercial plumber too, it's just a great way to get new customers. Now, as you can see, staggering growth. It's going to be even more. This is how much time is spent online. It's crazy. You probably know. 77% of business to consumers found customers using Facebook. That's 3/4 of the people found a customer using Facebook, and it works for plumbers too, I promise. What should you do? So here's in the trenches. What should you do? You should create valuable content and share with them on a frequency basis. And now, on a plumber, I'm not saying once a day. I'm not saying even once a week necessarily. A couple times, maybe a couple times a week at max, and maybe once a week would be good. If you got something cool, post it. If you don't have anything cool, don't post it. One of my plumbers, they actually saved a kitten out of a pipe. It was big news. We did a press release. She got on the local TV channel. It was great. And we made a big deal out of it. So we did posts all over the place. It got shared. It was huge, very viral. It's just a kitty. And cats go crazy on Facebook anyway. You can do the same thing. You've probably done something cool lately. If you did any philanthropic endeavors or something cool, you donated money for a golf tournament, that's what you're posting on there. Not your sales, not your, you're not trying to sell. You're trying to get them to like you. And you do that by posting cool stuff, right? This girl, she's pretty cool and I like it, but she's always giving good information. I was trying to give, I guess this is something more for me, but it means something that here's how to do this, how-to things, relevance, high quality, frequent. It works very well. Here's the algorithm. I don't have time to get into this much because we're wrapping it up here. The affinity, weight, and time decay. Yes, Facebook has an algorithm as well. To get the post to go as far as it can, you need to have affinity. That's the people who are viewing each of the posts. That's going to be your friends, right? The weight of that post comes down to how much it's shared. Likes really don't do anything anymore, but commenting and shared and tagging it is definitely gives it more weight. So you want to make sure your employees tag it and share it, comment on it, and then of course if you get somebody else to tell them, comment on it. That's why when you do a cat video like that, it gets shared and commented and gives a huge amount of weight, and it explodes and it goes all over, it goes viral. And then time decay, it's like an old newspaper. Anytime, after about a week it gets stale. Well, that's a good time to have somebody share it or comment on it, because then it will bring it back up to the top again, because the time delay starts all over when it gets reshared, reposting, those kind of things. Okay, Facebook advertising is hugely powerful. It's intrusive though, so again, don't have time to get into it. Just want to throw it out there. Intrusive meaning you can put an ad in front of somebody. Now the problem is with emergency plumbing, it doesn't work so well because we don't know who needs an emergency right now. But it does work for new construction. Anybody who's trying to do a new business, you can figure that, or new house, build a new house. It also works for obviously corporate or business to business kind of things, because you can get in front of business owners, you can get in front of whatever you want, human resources, and it's a great way to narrow it down. But it's an intrusive thing, so they're not looking for you. You're putting yourself in front of them. Where Google AdWords, which we're going to talk here in a second, Google AdWords and even LinkedIn is intrusive as well. But Google AdWords is where they're searching for you, and that's just a great way to be. Okay, in this competitive environment, automation, you need to automate some of the stuff. You don't need to be posting all over LinkedIn and Facebook and all this. I don't recommend Twitter. I don't like it, but if you're going to do something, you can use like Hootsuite. It's free, I think, for up to a certain amount. And you can post one post and it'll splat it out there to several different places. That's the best way to go. We'll talk about that here in a second. So, okay, pay-per-click. The pay-per-click and the mobile media revolution. I already talked about mobile. Look at those old phones. God, I could change that picture. That's pretty funny. Anyway, mobile is everything that I talked about is relevant on mobile, even more so. Oh, that's saying what I got on screen here, I guess. Look at this. 6.8 billion people own a cell phone. That's how many. There's only like 6.9 billion people on Earth. 4.6 billion smartphones out there. Actually, that's huge. But look at the bottom one. 4.2 billion own a toothbrush. So what's more important, right? I mean, it's obviously the phone. That's why it's critical. This is my favorite one right here. See this little 39%? I think this is old. What year is this? But it says here 39% use your smartphone while going to the bathroom. This is relevant to you plumbers. Probably get a few things accidentally flushed down the toilet, but I think it's pretty funny. I think it's higher. It's probably 65, 70%. Okay, I got to touch on this and then we'll wrap it up. It's 4 o'clock and I know I've been chatting along here. Pay-per-click. Pay-per-click is an excellent way to get leads. Most of our clients do it because they can see return on investment. It's back to the dollar to get $2 back or whatever. But you can see that Google Ads 64.6 of clicks click on the paid ads. So people think, oh, they don't click on the ads. Nobody clicks on the ads. Well, they do. They definitely do. And Google does. When you look at it, Google kind of pushes it right in front of your face. When there's an emergency, especially in plumbing, they don't care it's an ad. They're like, I need a plumber and I need a plumber now. And I promise you would get calls by doing pay-per-click. Now, organic is still great too, and it's cheap. It's not free because you still have to do all that work I was telling you about, build that authority. But it's free from Google, but you still got to work at it. But you definitely want to check out pay-per-click when you got a chance. Even if some of our clients only do like $500 a month or something. It doesn't have to be crazy. Some of them do $30,000 a month. So it doesn't, actually, I think one's over 40. So I know a college spending $100,000 a month. They're not our customer yet, but I'm proposing on it. So they're getting returns. They wouldn't spend that kind of money unless you're getting returns. And you can actually, Google will tell you this is for water damage, but they'll tell you how many people are searching for a specific keyword in your market. Like this is in Pensacola, I think. No, Tampa. I did Tampa. So 90 people a month are typing in water damage, mold removal, water damage, Tampa. And you can see there's probably another 100 keywords. And you can see, okay, there's probably 400 searches a month for people doing, looking for what I do. You can collect those. You won't get all 400, but maybe you get 10% of those. I mean, if you got 10% of these 4 keywords here, was that 90, 140, 180? So 10% is 18 calls. 18 calls in that niche is pretty good. Maybe not a plumbing niche, but yeah, 18 calls because their average order is around 3,000 to 5,000. And then you can see this is suggested bids. Some of them get out of control. $112. We'll talk about that. If you want to learn about that, I can teach you. Get a little cheaper. Yeah, here's the ads. It's above the maps. You can see the eye tracking. So you want to be up there. But on a phone, it's even more relevant. Pay-per-click. They're doing 4 of them now. They just changed that like at the beginning of the year. There used to be only 3. That's just Google pushing it. So you want to be there. All right, I think that's it. As you add positions, we get into a little bit. So I don't have time to really teach you everything about AdWords. You want to make sure you do long tail keywords, just a little more descriptive. Nike men's running shoes. Don't do shoes. So don't do plumbing. If you're in Miami, don't try to bid on the keyword plumbing. I promise you that's a $50 keyword. But if you do red Nike men's running shoes, like a long one like that, that would be like $2. If that makes sense. 73% is local. Well, I got a lot of crap in here. I'm sorry. I wanted to give you good quality content. So quality score. All right, I need to talk about this. So quality score is based off of these things. It's based off your click-through rate, your landing page, relevancy. Should we have the word relevance? Historical performance, various relevance factors, ad relevancy, and keyword relevancy. You see a theme there? It all comes out of relevancy. And so your keyword, it's possible, literally, if you look at this scenario here, if you're bidding 75 cents and your quality score is a 7, you have an ad rank of that times that, which is 5.25. Now look at advertiser C. They're bidding $1. They're bidding more than you are, but their quality score is lower. It sucks. It's a 4 because they're not as relevant. Their landing page is not relevant. The keyword's not as relevant. So they can literally pay. They have an ad rank of 4. To be in the 3rd position, they would pay more than what you would pay to be in the 1st position. Does that make sense? I know it's confusing, but you really got to hone in on the relevancy. I can't express that enough if you're going to do AdWords. Call me and I can walk you through it. You can burn a lot of money on AdWords if you're not doing it right. Of course, or you can hire an agency like us that know what we're doing, and we can save you a ton of money. In fact, we guarantee you, if you're doing AdWords yourself right now, I guarantee you 15% higher conversions or 15% saved money, either one, and or I'll give you our fees back because I know I can optimize it better than. And this is what we do. We spend hundreds of thousands of dollars of somebody else's money, and we got it down pretty well how to optimize these. All right, conversions, tracking number. Oh, I love tracking numbers. Go get a phone call tracking number. This is what I'm talking about. You can do from cradle to grave. If it calls from your pay-per-click. If they call from your billboard. If you have a billboard, they know from your business card. I have one plumber. He's got 63 phone numbers. If he does door hangers, if you call from the door hanger, he knows where you call from. Tracking numbers are cheap. We sell them, and we have our own tracking company, phone tracking number company, and we can sell them to you, or you can get them anywhere. I don't care. It's just something you definitely need to be using. So you know where your money is being spent and what's working, what's not when you're spending advertising money. A man who stops advertising to save money is like a man who stops the clock to save time. I like Henry Ford. That's pretty cool. You can't do this. You can't just say, hey, I don't know, my company's status quo, we're plugging along, because the world's changing, right? The bananas. And if you don't change, the only way to go is backwards. There's no status quo. All right. If you're not adapting to this new ways of marketing, you're going to go backwards. I promise you. So I can't put you in the sand. Hopefully, you can apply some of these. Remember, there's 3 pillars of success, right? It talks about the mindset. Hopefully, you're into this. You say, I need to try this. I need to do some of this. I just want you to try 1 or 2 things that I showed you. Maybe just the reputation thing. Just try that. Go get 10 reviews by the end of May. And then skill set. Maybe you can learn a little better skills of how to do some Facebook marketing, or even back to the SEO part of it. You can start building some of that authority I was talking about. And then, of course, get off your asset. Just start taking action now. And I promise you'll see an upward spiral. A couple of these things will start working. You'll say, hey, this is actually working, and we'll do more of it. And we can kind of go from there. So in the city of blind people, the one-eyed man is king. And here's the thing with plumbers, and I mean this in the nicest possible way. Most of them are still asleep when it comes to selling market. It's been around for a long time. But we don't have a lot of good competition. If I come into a market, we only work on SEO and pay-per-click. We only work with 1 plumber per market. And I won't take you on if I don't think I can win and dominate. Eventually, it's never overnight, but eventually. I'm telling you, in some markets, it's sad. The competition's not doing it, but everybody's getting calls and everybody's pretty happy. But if you came in, you could really dominate a market. Okay, thanks for coming, and I want you to have a prosperous and rewarding 2017. And as I mentioned, if you please send me an email at info@prosperousim.com, and I will give you a free press release. And so we'll write it. You just got to give me some bullet points, and then we'll write it, send it to you, make sure you approve it, and then we'll send it out, and you'll get some backlinks, and you'll get some authority. So, all right. So if you like this, I'm going to ask you for a review. I did this for free. And my only thing is if you're going to give me a 5-star review, just Google Prosperous IM or Prosperous Internet Marketing, and then give us a review, because I'm trying to do what I'm telling you. I'm trying to get reviews too. And we're very happy. We got tons of awesome clients. If you want referrals, I'll be glad to give them to you. If you want to call us, the phone number is, back at the beginning there, 850, there it is, 475-4460, and we'll be glad to help you in any way we can if you have questions or anything like that, or just send an email to the info@prosperousim.com. I'll get it to you. All right, I guess that wraps it up. I know you can't, I usually ask questions, but today I can't seem to get the chat to go. Like I said, you're more welcome to call us or email us. Hopefully you got something out of this. I believe that if you implement one or two things, you'll grow your business, and then you can give me a nice plug for that. All right, with that being said, I'll say over and out. And thank you for showing up on this online marketing bootcamp.